It's my quiz for plant diversity. Seedless vascular plants. Draw the life cycle. Question 1. Draw the life cycle of a spike moss. Specifically, draw the representation structures on the moss that belong to each stage within the life cycle, including a gametite and sporogate. Using the diagram in your video, explain the spike moss cycle. Okay, so I got it right here. Diagram right here. So basically, microspores fall to the ground. The sporadic of I swear after it sometimes. The cell salmonella release and disperse spores. Spores once they're mature. The eggs are produced by the megasporagia. The plant grows old, center dies, leaves living material around the center. The plants produce sporagmia on stalks in the axials, called sporphals. Forms in the cone like clusters, microcytes. Undergo meiosis and produce microspores. Sporocycle undergo meiosis and become 4 large megaspores. Microspores become male gametites, and megaspores become female gametites. Now compare and contrast meiosis and microsis, as well as eusporagia and leptosporagia, which divisions of seedless vascular plants exhibit these structures. So, which should be for megaphylls, they have multiple veins and leaf gaps above the stem. For microspores, they have a single and branched leaf vein, and they both develop independently and undergo photosynthesis. Now for Euphorarea, they develop from groups of initial cells, whereas Lyphosporia develop from groups of single cells. Now the Euphorarea, they're also, they're adjacent cells of sporagmia. They contribute to the formation of wall or stalks, of sporagmia. Now, whereas Lyphosporia develops from the group of single cells, and the adjacent cells don't have a role in further development of Lyphosporidium. Now, they both produce haploid spore cells after meiosis, and they're formed on the sporogate. Now, question 3. Draw the life cycle of fern belongings to class Prilus. Specifically, draw the representation structure that belong to each stage, including the gamophytes and spores. So, alright. Now, the sperm fertilizes the egg, restores diploid number, and begins new sporophyll generation. Embryo develops foot that penetrates tissue of Prothallus and enables Sporus to secure nutrients. Sporus is independent. To produce sori are formed on the outside of the fronts. Within each sporagmum of the sources of spores, mother cells undergo meiosis, producing 4 haploid spores. Humidity drops, the thin wall cells of each sporagmum separates. Amnia slowly strains out, snaps, expelling the spores. Now, the characteristics. Explain what characteristics of male vascular plants more successfully live on land compared to non-vascular. Now, the characteristics are the vascular plant are the tree roots and the vascular tissue. It gives transportation for water, nutrients, and reproduction. So that makes them more successful to live on land compared to non-vascular plants. Plus, they're mobile, more mobile.